Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we are once again back on Modern Warfare, and I wanted to share with you guys the best FN Scar 17, the Traitor blueprint class setup. For those of you that didn't know, the Traitor is a blueprint for the Scar that's unlocked in the Battle Pass at tier 45. So it does take a little bit of work to get to, but once you get it, it's definitely worth it. And I want to share with you guys the best attachments that you can run on this thing to make this an absolute god. So I want to start off by saying the Scar is one of those guns in Modern Warfare that generally starts off pretty trash unless you unlock attachments for it. That's one of the things that's very common here in Modern Warfare, is that most of the guns are absolutely terrible until you start getting attachments. And if you're like me, I'm sure a lot of you are, where you start using some of these different guns to get some camos and you get really irritated and switch guns because it's really trash. But if you give it time and you unlock the attachments and you put the right ones on, you can actually make this gun very, very good. So let's go ahead and look at the attachments for the Scar, the Traitor blueprint. As you'll see in the bottom left, we've boosted our accuracy, our range, and our mobility. The number one priority with this gun specifically was the ammunition for me. I'm sure a lot of you that have had experience with the Scar understand that the very low round mag is not very good with the Scar. There's a lot of times where I'll be in gunfights, whether it's with one person that ends up turning into a long gunfight, or maybe I run into multiple people and I have to take out multiple people at one time. The Scar is not really a good weapon to do that. And one thing that I wanted to do was make sure that I had enough ammunition in the Scar so that I could take on someone that was at a distance, or if I ran into two people at once and I was able to possibly get a double or a triple kill. I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you have had that opportunity and have ended up running out of ammo and had to reload because of the low round mag. So we're putting the 30 round magazine on this gun first to make sure that we do have enough ammunition to take on multiple people or someone from a distance. We are not using a muzzle. The barrel that we're using is the Forge Tac 17.2 LB. This is going to give us damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. We're going to lose a little bit of aim down sight speed as well as movement speed. You'll see that the only thing that this knocks down is mobility, which we're already in the green for, so it's not really too big of a deal. What's really important with this is that we have decent accuracy and range, and it's nice that we're getting a control buff as well. So again, the Forge Tac 17.2 LB is what we're running for a barrel. We're not using a laser, and we're not using an optic. I don't like using an optic with the Scar. For those of you that played Modern Warfare 2, I almost always use the Scar with the iron sights, and I feel the same way in this game as well. I don't think you really need that iron sight for this gun. I think it is very good and powerful without it, and all that really does is kind of knock down some of your control as well as your mobility. So I think the optic is probably a thing that you cannot have to worry about with this class setup. The stock, we're using the FTAC collapsible stock. So this is going to boost our movement speed and our aim down sight speed. Obviously, you'll see down in the bottom, our mobility is being boosted significantly. I wanted to make sure that our mobility was all right with this class setup. I didn't want to sacrifice mobility too much. Obviously, we could boost our accuracy, range, and even control way high. The problem is that we're sacrificing a lot of mobility, and this gun is already fairly slow, so I didn't want to knock it down too far. So this attachment is strictly to get our mobility back up, as well as to cancel out our con of aim down sight speed. We're kind of bringing that back up with this attachment, so it's a good one to run. The underbarrel we're using is the Commando foregrip. This should be an easy one for all of you to get, for it's the first attachment that you get under the underbarrel section. You're going to get recoil stabilization as well as aiming stability. The only thing going down a little bit is our mobility, which we boosted with our last attachment, and you'll see that our accuracy, our range, and our control are all boosted with this, and we are still in the green for mobility, which is nice. We talked at the beginning about the ammunition. We're definitely running the 30 round magazine, so make sure you have that on. And then last but not least, we are going to run a stippled grip tape under our rear grip. This is going to put our aim down sight speed in the green, obviously 2-to-1 on pros to cons. Our sprint to fire speed is also very high, which is important. This is going to boost our mobility. As most of you guys know, sprint to fire speed is very important when it comes to winning gunfights, whether you're running through a doorway, running around a corner. Obviously, you're going to get that gun up and start shooting much quicker than the enemy if they're not using that attachment. So a very good one to run, especially when you're using assault rifles. And yeah, those are the 5 attachments that we're going to be using with the FN Scar 17 here for this Traitor class setup. You'll see again in the bottom left, accuracy and range and mobility are all buffed. Our control is down just a tiny bit, but not too big of a deal. Not enough to really make a big difference. And yeah, so that is the best FN Scar, the Traitor blueprint class setup here in Modern Warfare. If you guys have any questions or anything else you'd like to add, make sure to leave it down in the comment section below. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.